Hi everyone, in this video I'm going to be making these cute DIY mini bottles. In the end, you can always just choose to attach charm straps to your mini bottles, but I didn't since I chose to leave these for decoration. The sizes of the bottles I found were so cute and miniature, but it makes it a bit tricky since they're so small to work with. My first bottle is going to be a mini message in a bottle. First, I cut a tiny piece of paper about the size of my bottle and rolled it up. I then tied it up with a tiny ribbon. I cut off the excess ribbon and placed it aside for now. I didn't show this part, but I made a paper funnel so I could easily transfer some sand into the bottle. And if you don't have any sand, I personally think that salt or sugar would look fine too. I now place my mini message into the bottle. This next bottle is going to be an ocean in a bottle type thing. I used a dropper to fill the bottle about 1/3 with water. I then added 1 drop of blue food coloring. I'm now going to fill up the rest of the bottle with baby oil. I shook it up a bit and then opened the lid to add some blue glitter. I think this bottle looks cool in general, but I think it looks especially nice when you shake it up and put it up to some light. Now this bottle is my attempt at a mini lava lamp. Since my bottle is so small, it's kinda hard to notice any effects, but I still think it looks pretty cool. This one is gonna be just like my last bottle, except for this one, I'm gonna make the oil to water ratio 1:1. Since I don't want my green water to be too dark, I added a drop of green food coloring to the water before I actually placed it in my mini bottle. So I filled my bottle halfway with colored water and then the other half with oil. I put the lid back on and shook it up to see sort of that lava lamp effect. My next bottle is going to be a Nebula Galaxy bottle. I started off by getting 3 mini cups of water and then mixed different colored paints into these cups until they got to the colors I desired. I then put these cups aside and started stretching out some cotton. I pulled out a tiny piece of cotton and stuffed it into the bottle about 1/3 of the way. I used my dropper to add 1 color of water to this cotton and used my stick to soak it up more. This next part is optional, but I added a bit of glitter in there. So now I'm going to do the same exact thing with the rest of my colors until the entire bottle fills up. This last mini bottle is going to be a goldfish in a jar, and I think this one's probably my favorite. You can pretty much use anything to create your goldfish since it's going to be super tiny anyway, but I just used a hot glue gun to make 2 tiny dots to represent my goldfish shape. Of course, I then used scissors to cut off all the excess glue. I painted all my goldfish orange and then used a black Sharpie to draw on the eyes. This whole entire next part is extremely messy, but I basically just found a way to stuff clear glue into the bottle and filled it up maybe about 1/3 of the way. After I filled it up 1/3 of the way, I used tweezers to place 1 lucky goldfish into the bottle. I then used a stick to poke my goldfish into the exact position I wanted to stay in. After this, I continued filling up the entire bottle with clear glue. So those were my mini bottle DIYs, and I think they're just so cute. They were all extremely fun to make, and I think they make pretty cool decorations too.